Hello, everyone. It's the JJ Movie / Gamers, everybody. Aaron R1. I'm giving you another Assassin's Creed video, and I finally did it, everybody. I finally did it. I have replayed Assassin's Creed Unity without all the glitches of all of that terrible launch that they had. This is my final review of the game, and I'm just gonna say this: Assassin's Creed Unity is the worst Assassin's Creed game by far, and is to me one of the most disappointing video games of all fucking time. I'm not gonna say it's the worst video game of all time, but because there's plenty of fucking worse video games out there. But Assassin's Creed Unity, this motherfucking shit. Why is it okay? Let me say this. I'm gonna start off about the story. What happens in the story to it in Assassin's Creed? What's the entire storyline? What's the DLC? What's its features, side missions, and all that stuff. And overall, I'm gonna give it a review. And overall, I'm gonna tell you what it should have been and why it's a disappointing video game. So let's say for Assassin's Creed Unity, let's start off with the review. The review is you're playing Arno, a French assassin who's basically there for the French Revolution for no apparent fucking reason. Because even though this game takes place during the French Revolution, there's hardly interactions with the French Revolution. Very little. I say out of 100% of the video game, maybe 10% actually goes into the story of how the French Revolution was started, about the execution of the king. Like 10% went into it. Again, you're playing Arno Victorian, the assassin, and here's the thing, everybody. The game starts off with basically you're a little kid, you're in the palace, you're chasing around this cute redhead girl that you're starting to fall for, and your father is killed. They don't know who, unless you want to play Rogue, then you know who. But they don't know who. He was an assassin and a Templar. And the Templar who had that redheaded little girl decided to take this boy in, even though he was an assassin. He took him in and he raised him like his own. And follows Arno's love story throughout with the girl that he loves, the redhead Elise. And the story of how they love each other in a way for the first beginning of the game, and how Arnold is in prison for the death of her father. Elise is a guy who basically raised Arno, is now dead. He was killed off. Arno was framed for it. He meets an assassin in jail who knew his father. He decides to teach him about the creed, and he becomes an assassin. Elise is still a Templar. She knew about the Templar life, so it's like this Romeo and Juliet story, assassin, Templar. And what this game brought for the entire game was just finding out Elise's killer. That's all there was to this game. An entire game devoted to just finding one man's killer. Now, some people like saying, like, oh, what about Assassin's Creed 2, like Ezio Auditore? Well, Ezio Auditore had a whole thing about him learning about the assassin thing, and plus it was still fresh learning about the assassins, what they do, and he had overall a more interesting storyline. What did Arnold do? For the new generation, we had to replay the Assassins things again, learn about the Assassins again, about what's their history, and Arno is now taken care of. Now Arno and Elise, the Templar, are just trying to unite the Templars and Assassins together, which they don't really even focus on. They just really show the hypocrisy of the Assassins. This game, their best thing about this game is it shows the hypocrisy of both the Assassins and the Templars. There are good Assassins and there are bad Assassins who are hypocritical. If they see a Templar, and even though the Templars are trying to do something good or help the Assassins, they fucking hate that Templar. I just love the hypocrisy of the shows about the assassins, and how they're not always good guys, and how they could be somewhat bad guys, and how the Templars, who are in some cases bad guys, could actually lead to Templar civil war. At least the Templar female character, the redheaded girl, she is a Templar. She was supposed to be like the Grand Master of the Templar Order, but her father was killed, and the Templars went against her. It happens. There are good Templars and there are bad Templars, and that's what I loved about this game. But for the entire 13 sequences, it's just you and Elise. Well, it's just you, just learning about falling in love with a girl. You're trying to solve the murder of her father. You work with her. At the end of the day, she fucking dies. She dies. You stop everything. It has to kick you out. You're back in, and nothing's really fucking changed. There is no point to this story. There's no point to have this in the French Revolution. There is no point to this game for that. Granted, Paris, France is beautiful to look at, but are you fucking kidding me? They didn't interact with history at all, or even in it. At least with Connor in Assassin's Creed 3, we saw him interacting with George fucking Washington. Who did Arnold even talk to? He didn't talk to the fucking king. It's just a mess, Assassin's Creed Unity. They try to if they were trying to see how assassins and Templars could unite and be one for one another, and to not and to basically try to unite them and failing, then they would at least been doing something, because they mention it. They mention of uniting the assassins and Templars, but then it goes away like in 2 seconds. It's never again revealed. It's never again about this. I say the only unity that you get is between Arno the assassin and the Templar love interest Elise. And for all this entire game, she dies at the end, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about Assassin's Creed War, because you're playing a character that it was the whole point of the entire storyline was to find out Elise's father's killer. You kill him at the end, but you lose Elise. And the whole thing about one main character of just going out and you're just tracking him down, tracking him down, tracking him down. And it ultimately ends up to one simple little thing, and it's not at all fucking interesting. Now, what do they have for the side missions? The side missions in Assassin's Creed Unity, you know what they had? They had co-op online. That's pretty much it. They had the Helix glitch, where you get to run around and collect Helix glitches in a short amount of time. That was kind of fun. That was new and interesting. They had Assassin's Creed targets, assassination attempts, of course. That's Assassin's Creed. We had to kill people. So yeah, that's another thing that they feature, which all Assassin's Creed do since Assassin's Creed 2 date started. And it continues. It goes through every single Assassin's Creed game. And they did that, so I was not. So I'm like, okay, what else side things they have? And the only thing I really found was this investigation shit. So they put all their time and money, the developers of Assassin's Creed Unity put all their time and money into the co-op mission. And the co-op missions online are fucking suck. You can hardly connect to people. And overall, it's just not fun. After all the shit that you do during the entire story, if the storyline is not that great, then at least have interesting side missions for the people to enjoy it. But nope, it's fucking horrible. Let's say some of the positives. Paris, France is beautiful to look at, but nearly every single location looks the fucking same. They don't have enough landmarks. What else can I say? The customization is awesome. I like the amount of weapons you have. I like the cafe theater. I like that little thing where you renovate your stuff like in Assassin's Creed 2, except this is, I liked how it's a bar and has an underground facility. And I like that. I like the little base that Arno has. I really did enjoy that. But other than that, there's not really much to enjoy about this character. Now, Assassin's Creed Unity. Why I'm saying it's the most disappointing video game of all time. This was supposed to be the next generation for fans. This was supposed to be introduce people to Assassin's Creed for the next generation, and it also was supposed to reward people about Assassin's Creed, something new, something fresh. You know what the last gen did for the last Assassin's Creed game? For last gen, they created Rogue, the Templar side of things. Why not for both last gens? Both for last gen and new generation, even though it comes out the same year, both games. Assassin's Creed Rogue, you do the Templar side, and the Unity, you do the Templar side, except you play the first free female main character, Elise. People were questioning why not play Elise. They're like, oh, Elise was too hard to it was too hard to make a female assassin for this stuff, and you're not or female Templar for the first time. It was just too hard to make a female character. And which we all know is fucking bullshit, because next year they did freaking Syndicate, and they had Jacob and Navy Fry, brother and sister. So yeah, it is fucking possible. They were lazy ass routine just to score some people some money, and it's fucking ridiculous. Elise should have been the main character. If you look up the character Elise, the redhead, she interacts with Haytham Kenway's sister, Edward Kenway's daughter. She has a more interesting backstory than Arno. You can have Arno in this dang game, but have it Elise and how she's trying to unite the Templars and have to unite the assassins to build under one and let them fail together if they do fail. And show something. I mean, the first female main character and a different main character and a sexy ass character like Elise, and who was a badass, why not? But they didn't do it. We got Arno. We got the introduction to Assassin Order again for the 5th fucking time. Here's the thing. If you want to do something new and fresh for next generation, did what Rogue did. They did an assassin turned Templar. This one, why not be a Templar at the beginning? Why not for Unity? You could have been a Templar. Just tell me fucking why you couldn't be a Templar at the beginning for the next generation. We had to go again to the Assassins. You know how many times they introduced the Assassin Order? Assassin's Creed 1, obviously. 2, okay. Assassin's Creed 3, they introduced Connor, okay. Assassin's Creed 4. And for the 5th time, we don't need to know more about the Assassin Order. We get it. It's a simple template of what the Assassins are. We never really got a Templar side to the story. A little bit of Assassin's Creed 3, we got that with Haytham, but we didn't get much detail. Rogue, we got more into it. Why not succeed from the Templar side at the beginning with Unity? But they didn't do that, so this whole next generation thing, this whole new, brand new thing that they were going to give us, was fucking bullshit. It should have been something to reward fans of the series forever. And here's the thing, for the people who say that they don't want to play an Assassin's Creed game where you're playing a Templar, you are fucking idiots, you're fucking hypocrites, you're fucking dumbasses. Come on. If you're really a true Assassin's Creed fan, you focus on both the Assassins and the Templars. It's like for people who hate the Star Wars films, if you don't want to play a Star Wars game as a Sith. It's just idiotic and stupid. Or cowboys and Indians. Why not experience both worlds? And for Assassins and Templars, you could have done that for a freaking Assassin's Creed Unity, but they didn't do that fucking shit, and it's just utterly disappointing. They gave the DLC for free. And you know what the DLC is? Arnold moping around after Elisa and finding new life with this little kid he bonds with. And overall, it's not a fucking interesting thing. We get a new piece of Eden called the Sword of Eden. And here's the thing, you know what Sword of Eden that you do play with? You're playing a Templar at the beginning. Jackson Malloy. You have the Sword of Eden. You play a Templar at the beginning. You're telling me you couldn't fucking do that? You couldn't play a fucking Templar at the beginning for the new generation? Hell fucking no, they did not do that, and it fucking pisses me off. So damn fucking much. The DLC was crap. Worst DLC. They devote all their time into the freaking missions of online missions, and they didn't bring nothing for side missions. They did the lazy route of introducing Arno, and here's the thing. My favorite boss fight for the Assassin's Creed entire series is Arno versus Bellic. I like that fight scene. I love Elise as a character, but we played Arno. And Arno's not really a bad character in my opinion. Some people say he's boring and all this stuff, but the thing is though with Arno, he's dealing with so much hypocritical bullshit. Half the assassins on his, it's like, you disobeyed our rules. You killed people without our permission. But they're freaking hypocrites, these assassins that he's working with. And the one assassin mentor that was good to him, Maribel, he gets fucking killed because of fucking hypocrisy. Like, oh, you want to make peace with the Templars. Treason. Fucking bullshit. Here's the thing. If you had like main characters like Ezio Auditore, a true mentor of the assassins, he would make peace with the Templars if he could. Freaking Haytham Kenway would make peace with the assassins. If you had unity is possible between the assassins and the Templars, but I'm getting off track for that. That's a whole different video for that. Sorry about that, but Assassin's Creed Unity, it's a disappointing game just for the fact of what it could have been. It could have been something new to inspire the entire franchise. It could have been something much more interesting. It could have just brought more life into the franchise after Black Flag did it. Now it just cuts open Black Flag for what it's done and thank God Syndicate repaired the damage, but Unity will always be a stain on the Assassin's Creed universe. It's going to be one of the biggest stains of launches of all time for video games history. It's going to be, to me, the most disappointing game of all time, to me. It's a worst Assassin's Creed game, and it's the most disappointing Assassin's Creed game. And I already said what it should have been. It should have been about the Templar side of the story. It should have been a female main character. The first female main character, at least. A great character she was for what you got of her in this game. I don't understand why. So, this game should have been about the Templars. It should have had a female main character. I already gave you the reason why it was disappointing, because of its fucking story. And overall, the game leaves nothing satisfying. The story you could just skip over. I just save it just sometimes to roam around Paris. But overall, it's not even that fun, because Paris in some locations look exactly like the fucking same. Oh, another thing, they don't really have a lot of side characters till like late to like sequence 8. Remember how in Assassin's Creed 2 you got Uncle Mario, you had Katarina Sforza, you had characters Leonardo da Vinci, you had characters you were interacting with, a lot of characters. This one, not so much. I mean, seriously, all the characters that who are introduced, they show up maybe like one in the, they don't show up a lot. A lot of these characters, other than Bellic, who is a side character, main side character, is not really. There's not a lot of side characters that are shown. And here's the thing, they have like 12 locations on this map. You really just visit like 10 of them, and you only visit them one time. Remember when you were in Assassin's Creed 2 or Assassin's Creed 4 where you had to visit a place a couple times just to get not just treasure, but also missions kept going there back and forth. You know how like in Assassin's Creed 2 you went to Florence, okay, you left Florence to go to Venice. Okay, then you had to leave back to Florence to do something, or Tuscany. You had to go there at least 3 to 4 times. It made the maps more interesting. It made the maps more want you to explore more. Unity, they make you really want to go anywhere. I mean, for the sequences, for 13 long sequences, they had like 2 chapters. Like, okay, do this, you're done with sequence. Go to the next sequence. It was fucking ridiculous and fucking retarded. So again, Assassin's Creed Unity is to me the worst Assassin's Creed game. It's the most disappointing video game of all time. And I just can't get over it. Nothing is hardly redeemable about this other than it introduces the character Elise. Other than that, I don't really see a point to this game. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. I really like the customization for and the weapons that you get, and I like the character Elise for what they show of her, and I like how this shows the hypocrisy of the Assassins and the Templars. But ultimately, of what it could have been, it's just garbage. I only paid $8 for that one copy right there. I want my money back. I believe it's only worth $5 if you could just see Elise, or you could just customize your character, or just roam around Paris for like a good 2 minutes. I see it's worth $1, really. But what do I know? I mean, I'm just an Assassin's Creed fan. I mean, we're all Assassin's Creed fans. We just love this shit. I mean, what do we know of the fans? What do we really know? Fucking Ubisoft. Fucking. But yeah, everyone, that's my opinion about Assassin's Creed Unity. Why it's the most disappointing video game of all time. Why I hate it in so many ways. And I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. And that's the most generous thing I could do to it. There's nothing left to say. I wasted my time to just replaying it. That's it. Alright, everyone, Angel Lee signing off for you. Everybody. Bye-bye.